In the quest for a more fulfilling life, it's very common to find ourselves in a relentless pursuit of more. We want more wealth, more accomplishments, more contentment, more everything. Yet it's crucial to realize, I think, that the secret to an enriched life may not lie in the acquisition of more. Rather, I think it's a conscious embracing of less. This is why minimalism is so intriguing, that by intentionally reducing certain behaviors and habits, we can substantially enhance our overall well-being. It is a simple but profound idea that challenges us to reconsider our habits and choices in all aspects of life, from our thoughts and actions to our consumptions and our interactions with other people. Adopting a mindset of less can actually lead to an abundance in the areas that truly matter. Today we're going to talk about 10 ways that less is almost always more in our lives. And I hope you'll stick around. Negative thoughts can be a formidable force. They cloud our judgment. They dampen our spirits. However, by making a concerted effort to reduce negative self-talk, we can foster a more optimistic outlook on life. When we let go of pessimistic narratives, we create space in our lives for more positivity and more gratitude. Studies have shown that optimism is linked to better physical and mental health. It's also linked to improved resilience and an increase in overall happiness. It's about shifting our perspective from what's going wrong and focusing on what's going right. From dwelling on problems to seeking solutions. Now, throughout most of my life, I have allowed negativity to beat me down. Not just in negative self-talk where I told myself over and over that I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't wealthy enough, or I wasn't strong enough, or smart enough, or good looking enough, but also in simply looking at the world through a negative lens. I was constantly finding fault with everything, from my job to my friends, to my coworkers, and more. And more times than not, it just kept me angry inside. And if I'm being honest, that negativity still haunts me from time to time, even today. And this conscious shift in mindset can lead to a more positive attitude toward all of life, opening doors to opportunities and experiences that we might have even failed to notice in a predominantly negative state of mind. Procrastination is something we've talked about on this channel before, and it is the silent thief of productivity. It robs us of valuable time and energy. By tackling tasks promptly and efficiently, we can unlock our full potential and achieve greater success. But there really is no silver bullet that will rid us of the problem if we are truly procrastinators. But the sense of accomplishment that comes from completing tasks on time can fuel momentum and motivate us to keep moving forward. By delaying tasks and putting off our responsibilities, we not only accumulate stress, but also we diminish our overall output. Focusing on completing tasks and completing them promptly, on the other hand, and avoiding unnecessary delays can significantly boost our productivity and allow us to accomplish more in less time, and yet we still won't do it. Preparing for this very video is a prime example of how this can be a problem for me as a procrastinator. I've had this outline sitting around for a couple of weeks. And then I spent the last weekend before it needed to get uploaded just watching TV, going downtown, working on other projects, just basically overall avoiding completing the task. I only finished my thoughts on it even today, the day I actually need to upload it. And even then, I needed to kick myself in the butt to get busy finishing what should have been done days ago. Procrastination is the enemy of productivity, and if we can diminish it, and I'm not talking about eliminating it, but if we can just diminish it, we will find ourselves already being more productive in our lives. In addition, the food we eat directly impacts our energy levels and overall well-being. And by reducing our intake of junk food, by eating less, and opting for more nutritious meals, we can fuel our bodies with the energy they need to thrive. Now, for some, this means eating carnivore. For others, it's keto. And others, it's Mediterranean diets or vegetarian or even vegan. The list of the way people choose to eat is endless. But the one thing that all of them have in common is the reduction of highly processed junk food and replacing them with healthy alternatives. Eating real food, whether that's beef or broccoli, provides sustained energy throughout the day, and making healthier food choices not only boosts physical vitality, but it also supports our mental clarity and our emotional stability. The foods we consume have a profound impact on our energy levels and our overall well-being. And junk food, laden with its unhealthy fats and its sugars and its preservatives, can lead us to feeling sluggish and drained. And by reducing our intake of these unhealthy foods and opting for more nutritious whole food options, we can experience higher energy levels throughout the day, enabling us to tackle our tasks with both vigor and clarity. Now, if you've been around here very long, you know that by and large, I subscribe to a carnivore lifestyle. I'm trying very hard not to call it a diet. It's hard. But I don't live there 100% of the time. I eat other things from time to time. I do allow myself some sweets or French fries or potato chips. My problem is that I'm a food addict. That's the problem. And once I start down that road, it's really hard for me to stop. Keeping my diet simple with real food is just easier for me to maintain a better lifestyle. In a world that is facing environmental challenges, reducing waste is more important than ever. Now, I'm not a climate change evangelist by any means, but I do see how we are slowly destroying pieces of our planet with carelessly discarded trash and an overabundance of cheap products that continue to break down, get tossed out, and replaced. By minimizing our consumption and making conscious choices to reuse or recycle, we can lessen our ecological footprint and promote sustainability. From reducing single-use plastics to embracing minimalism as a lifestyle, every small action contributes to a healthier ecosystem for future generations. Our planet is literally groaning under the weight of excessive waste and overconsumption. And by adopting a minimalist mindset and reducing our waste output, we can contribute to a more sustainable lifestyle and a healthier environment. I was taking a walk around the mall near my home last year when I came across a half-eaten meal in a styrofoam container thrown on the sidewalk. It's bad enough that people do this kind of mindless trashing on our walkways. But what really irritated me was it was no more than 10 feet away from a perfectly available trash can. They had to purposefully leave this on the ground. 3 steps. and the trash would have been contained. And our planet cannot continue to thrive if we are just tossing garbage out of our car windows or dropping trash on the ground willy-nilly with no thought about sustaining our environment for future generations. Stress is an unavoidable part of modern life. But when it is left unchecked, it can wreak havoc on our mental and physical health. And by actively managing stress through techniques like meditation, or exercise, or prayer, or mindfulness, or even diet, we can cultivate a greater sense of peace and tranquility. Reducing stress levels allows us to approach life's challenges with a clear mind and a resilient spirit. And chronic stress, it can take a toll on our mental and physical health, undermining our very quality of life. And learning to let go of what we cannot control and focusing on what brings us joy can help alleviate stress and foster a deeper sense of well-being. Managing stress effectively is crucial for maintaining mental health. And by finding ways to reduce stress, we can achieve a greater sense of peace and overall mental health. This peace of mind can lead to an improved quality of life and enhance our daily experiences and interactions with other people. Now, this hit me personally in a very small way, very small, when I decluttered my bedroom and changed out my furniture. Before, I had this massive bedroom furniture that filled up every available space. It was very manly in its design, and I specifically chose it for that reason. And after I took all of that out, and I replaced it with a simple Scandinavian-style bed with little other furniture, I was suddenly hit with a realization when I walked into that room. I literally felt freer, like a weight had been lifted. I noticed to myself, I can breathe easier when I walk in here. Just that little bit of stress relief. My own bedroom was making me stressed every single day. Now, not only has retirement helped alleviate the feelings of stress in my life, but simple furniture changes and downsizing has also done that. In a world that is filled with constant chatter and distractions, finding moments of silence and stillness is essential for our mental health. By reducing unnecessary noise and creating peaceful environments, we can nurture a sense of tranquility and inner calm. And whether it's through meditation or spending time in nature or simply unplugging from technology, which is really, really hard for me, embracing quietude allows us to recharge and reconnect with ourselves. By actively seeking out moments of quiet and reducing unnecessary noise, we can create a more peaceful and serene environment, allowing us to recharge and connect. This sense of tranquility can lead to improved focus, a calmer mind, and an enhanced ability to just enjoy the present moment. Now, I'm learning to drive with no music. It is a simple, small life change, but it is having a profound effect. I'm learning to live with the quiet. The TV doesn't have to be on all the time. Music doesn't have to be a distraction every waking moment. Quiet is a prescription a lot of us could cash in a lot more, and we would be much calmer and happier as a result. Criticism, whether from others or from ourselves, can be a very powerful force that erodes our self-confidence and our sense of self-worth. By shifting our focus away from criticism and towards self-improvement and personal growth, we can cultivate a healthier sense of self-esteem and self-acceptance. Embracing our flaws and celebrating our strengths can foster a more positive and empowering mindset. I know self-criticism can be debilitating, It can erode our self-esteem and our confidence over time. And by shifting our focus from self-judgment to self-improvement, we can cultivate a more positive self-image and a greater self-acceptance. Celebrating our strengths and embracing our imperfections as opportunities for growth enables us to cultivate a healthier sense of self-worth. That's a really hard mind shift to make. I'm really bad at this. You've seen it on this channel. Many of you have commented on it. You said, stop being so hard on yourself. And my first reaction is, I'm not. I'm just trying to be honest. But I could just as easily be honest by pointing out what was right as I can be by pointing out what was wrong. It's a mind shift that I am working on personally, and at 65, it's harder than if I had just done it at 25. But it's still doable. I am, as they say, a work in progress. Incorporating physical activity into our daily routines is essential for maintaining optimal health. By reducing reliance on cars and choosing more active modes of transportation such as walking or biking or public transit, we can incorporate more movement into our lives. Not only does regular exercise improve physical fitness and our cardiovascular health, but it also boosts our mood and it increases our cognitive functions. And in our modern, convenience-driven society, especially here in the United States, where we have become a two-car for every family kind of society, it's just all too easy to rely on our cars for even the shortest journeys. But by making a conscious effort to use our cars less and opting for active transportation methods like walking or biking, we can seamlessly incorporate physical activity into our daily routines. And that should improve our overall fitness and our overall well-being. Now, I used to do this a few years ago, and I need to get back to it, especially during the summer months when I was off from work. Rather than get up in the morning and drive to go get coffee, I walked. It was less than 10 minutes by foot. And then I would walk for a couple of miles around the mall and various other stores before walking back home. And I got lazy and I stopped. The weather got cold. I had to go back to work. I had all kinds of excuses. But with the better weather and the earlier light, I plan to get back to that. I might even start that tomorrow. Gossip, while occasionally tempting, can be a toxic and unproductive pursuit. And by avoiding the temptation to engage in idle talk about others, we can redirect our energy towards more meaningful and constructive conversations. And this not only strengthens our relationships, but it also fosters an improved environment of trust and respect and personal growth. Gossiping not only breeds negativity, but it also erodes trust and undermines the relationships we have. Active listening, empathy, and open-mindedness are essential ingredients for cultivating meaningful interactions that uplift and inspire. Now, I'm happy to report that the gossiping in my life has diminished greatly now that I'm retired. I've always been a pretty good listener, and I hear without judgment, and I try to provide help where I can. But let's face it, gossip can be fun. And like food or alcohol, it can be addicting if we don't take careful steps to combat it in our lives. In a fast-paced world where instant gratification is the norm, practicing patience has become a lost art. Whether that's waiting 5/100ths of a second after the light turns green before we honk at the driver in front of us, or tapping our foot in the coffee line because the person in front of us can't decide between a 16-ounce extra hot latte with 3/4 pumps of Irish cream and 3/4 pumps of vanilla, stirred once to the right and 3 times to the left with whip, or whether they want a 2-ounce caramel chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, pumpkin, Irish cream, caramel syrup, salted caramel blue raspberry banana with one white, one dark, one ristretto whip with matcha sprinkled on top of the whip. It's coffee, people. Drink coffee. By slowing down and being present and cultivating patience, we can develop greater tolerance and improved compassion toward other people. Recognizing that everyone has their own journey and challenges allows us to respond with kindness and understanding rather than judgment and frustration. Not everything has to be accomplished instantaneously. And when we understand this, we can develop a greater sense of tolerance and empathy towards those around us. Embracing the philosophy of less equals more is not about deprivation or austerity. Rather, it's about mindfully curating our lives and prioritizing what truly matters. By stripping away the excesses and focusing on the essentials, we can create space for more joy, more fulfillment, and more meaningful connections with the people in our lives. It's a journey toward a more intentional and purposeful existence, one where less truly does equal more. Now, if you're still with me in this video, you haven't dropped out 5 minutes ago, I'd be interested in hearing about your own less is more ideas in the comments. And thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.